Hello Steelers, and welcome to this bench report hobby update. I didn't think I was actually going to get one out this week because this weekend is pretty mad. I'm recording this on Friday, but I've got parties on Saturday and then probably recovering on Sunday, and I didn't think I'd actually get a chance to do this, but I found a few minutes to carve this out on Friday morning, so I thought I may as well update you because I've done quite a lot this week and there's been a lot come through the post, and there's a couple of things that I really want to talk about in this particular hobby updates that have really improved my hobby, but I'll come back to those in a second when I talk about what's come through the post. First of all, let's have a look at what I've been painting. Well, quite a bit actually. The first things that I painted this week were some Panzerjäger 4 L70s. I got these, Jagdpanzer 4 L70s. I got these from Paul over at Sabotaged. What I needed was some late war German armour, because if you remember, last week I got the interactive AK interactive pens, and I wanted something so I could do a review video of them, and there is a review video of those coming later on this week, but I think it's on Tuesday it's set up for, so have a look out for that where I talk about them. But I needed a subject to paint with the paint pens, so I ordered these from Paul over at Sabotaged. I got them painted, did them in typical German late war 3-tone camo colours using the pens. And then also I just added some foliage as well to them as well, just to really finish them off. I didn't have any Jagdpanzers, so I thought I'll get some of those since I'll need some late war armour stuff. So they're finished. The other thing I painted as well is I finished off the rest of the British sprue from the Highlanders that I'd finished the other week. So this includes the Scottish Brigadier, or ADC, depending on what game you're playing. Also the artillery, the Royal Artillery howitzer. So that's a nice little different model to the other ones that you get with the with the horse artillery and also the foot artillery in the other sets. And also the 95th Rifles skirmishers as well. So a couple of strips of those. I put 4 figures on each of those just to try to eke them out a little bit. So I'll have a few strips of those. I'm not sure where I'm going to get some more epic scale ones, but I'll probably get maybe some Essex miniatures or something to do some more of those skirmishers at some point in the future, but that's for that. And the other thing I painted as well, I went back to the French cavalry for the epics, and I painted the 1st regiment of their lancers, their light lancers. These are resplendent in their green uniforms. I really like the lancers. They're very nice, nice touch to the battlefield. So these were finished off, and I painted these with one of the things that I picked up this week in the post, which I will talk about in a second. And I don't want to blow me on trumpet here, but I really enjoy painting these, and I think these are the best epic unit that I've painted so far, simply because of the item that I got that helped me. But I'm going to come back to that in a second. In the post, there's been a whole load of stuff, whole slew of stuff. Two Fat Lardies, unfortunately their website has just gone down, along with a number of other websites across the wargaming world. I think Early War Miniatures, Lancer Miniatures, there's quite a few others that are using the same company, and they've all seemed to have gone down, and they all seem to be rebuilding from the ground up. So if you are looking to order anything from those companies, I'd just hold on a little bit, give them a little time, because I think it's only one guy that is actually running all of those websites. So, you know, give them patience. But before the website went down, Two Fat Lardies put out the GDA2 tokens. So I got a couple of sets because there's enough on a token sheet for each side. So I got 2 sets, one for each side, of course. They also do an initiative token as well, but I didn't get that because I can remember whose initiative is. But I got these tokens. I just thought, well, it's a lot easier than hunting around for them. I think they're probably made by Warbasers. It looks like they are, but they just say Two Fat Lardies on them. So I punched all those out, and they're all in storage now. The other thing I got, again sticking with Two Fat Lardies, is I got TWAT, Troops, Weapons and Tactics. I got this printed, I've had it for a while actually, but I got it printed over at Docs Direct, because I was chatting to a chap on Twitter, Margilivinia I think he's called. I've never said his name out loud, or his Twitter handle. He's been playing this recently, and he really rates it, and a lot of people did it. So it's an older version of Chain of Command, but it kind of comes between I Ain't Been Shot Mum and Chain of Command. There's a hell of a lot of I Ain't Been Shot Mum in this. It's a card-driven game, so it's very much like Through the Mud and the Blood. And there's a lot of characteristics in Through the Mud and the Blood that I recognise. But it has, for example, a firing chart, which you get in I Ain't Been Shot Mum. It has quite detailed anti-tank rules from what I can see. I've not read it fully yet. But I thought, what I'll do is I'll have a look at this and see if it's worthwhile making a video on it, just to show how it works, because I think it's going to be quite simple. Like I say, it works quite similar to I Ain't Been Shot Mum, but it is certainly a step, a rung on the ladder before Chain of Command. You can see very much how Chain of Command has taken this and just really smoothed out a lot of the rules in here. And, you know, in my opinion, for the better. That doesn't mean to say this is a bad rule set. It just means to say it's an older rule set, and it might be of interest to people having a look at some older Too Fat Lardy's archaeology. So there is that to have a look at in a post. The other thing that came as well was when I got the L70s, the Panzers, sorry, Paul also sent some Spanish walls over for me as well. I know he'd been working on these, Spanish walls and a gate as well. I mean, I don't really have much in the way of Spain, but they could work in Italy, I guess. But they're like, you know, like stucco walls with the typical Spanish tiles on top of them. Just sent these over as probably a little tester, really. So thanks for that, Paul. Thanks if you're watching. I will put them to use at some point. Some nice little walls there. It's always nice to have extra walls. Never hurts. Dex at the club on Thursday gave me some Peter Pig door gunners and also some 15mm rabbits as well. These are obviously NAM door gunners, and the rabbits are, you know, timeless. So thanks for that, Dex, if you are watching. I swapped him a massive box of unpainted scenery for it, so I don't know if I came off better there or he did, I'm not sure. And also Warbases got in touch a little while ago, Glenn over at Warbases, and asked if I'd be interested in having a look at some of their English Civil War buildings that they are releasing. So he sent some of those over. I put those together and I've done a quick review on those, which will be out in the next couple of weeks, because these are being released within the next couple of weeks. They've been showing them off on their Twitter feed and probably elsewhere, I think probably on their Facebook pages and things, but these are coming and they're very nice, really nice buildings. I mean, you know, they're English Civil War, but they can pretty much stretch anywhere from the later medieval period through to, you know, up to 20th century, because buildings like that still stand, particularly here in the UK, so you can use them for pretty much anything, really, I would have said. So yeah, that was a lot of the main stuff that came through in the post this week. The big thing that came through is this. Now, I mentioned it actually last week, and it's this. It's a set of magnifying glasses that you wear, and you also get a set of 4 of them as well, different strengths of magnifying glasses. Now, I've been seeing adverts on Facebook, I don't know if they're directly targeted at me or not, for this kind of thing, and it's kind of got me thinking a little bit, because I've certainly noticed at least in the last couple of years, that actually being able to see while painting is getting more and more of a struggle. I mean, I'm 50 in a couple of weeks, so, you know, that's just the passage of time. It's just the way it works. But it means that I've not really been able to focus on the figures, and it meant also, you know, I'm kind of saying this out loud for the first time ever, but painting actually was becoming a real chore. And with the Lancers, for example, I really wasn't looking forward to painting them, which is very much unlike me. Just because I knew it was going to be a struggle, because there's a lot of detail on them and they are small figures, but you want to pick out as much as you can, and you end up, you know, with a half-arsed kind of painted figures, really. But then I was chatting to Robin as well over at I can't remember the name of his channel, he's only just set it up, but what I will do, I'll put a link for it down in the description down below. But Robin, he mentioned that he'd got these particular glasses. He got them off Amazon. I found them on eBay, but I've got an Amazon affiliate link, which I will again put in the description down below. So if you want to go and buy them, get them through that, and it gives me a bit of a kickback. But they were about 15 quid, which is ridiculously cheap price. They've got an LED light on the front of them, which you can see there. It turns on 2 different levels of it. I've not really used that, but it just charges by a USB. And sounds like I'm working for these people, but I'm not. Honestly, this is by far in the last 40 years the best hobby thing I have bought, and I can't praise them enough. It has absolutely transformed my painting. It's transformed my not just my ability to paint, because you can actually see stuff, but also my enthusiasm for painting. And as I say, I was dreading painting those the Lancers. Put these on and it was an absolute joy. I was desperate to go to painting them, never mind, you know, looking forward to finishing them, which is what I'd normally been doing, because it felt like an uphill struggle. So if you are struggling, you know, and I know a lot of people have got these, because I posted them on Twitter and on Facebook, and people have said, oh, I've got the sets. But honestly, I cannot believe how transformative these are. And as I say, it feels like I'm being paid by these people to do this, and I'm not. Honestly, this is just something that was recommended to me. I bought them, and I am now recommending them to you. Honestly, these, if you get these and you or you know, something similar, and you know, your painting isn't transformed, then I don't know what to tell you. But they are absolutely fantastic, top of the shelf. That is, to quote another podcast out there, best bit on the bench for me for sure, and also best bit on the bench for me for a long time. So anyway, I'll stop praising those. Like I said, I don't want this to turn into an advert or anything for them. But also, I played a couple of things as well this week. Last weekend I had a weekend to myself, so I took advantage of that, and I laid out a game of Chain of Command Great War just to try out the rules once again. This time I went to the Stout Hearts and Iron Troopers supplement for Through the Mud and the Blood, and I took one of the scenarios for that, set in the Kaiserschlacht around Albert in 1918, in spring of 1918, and basically played that through as a German attack using the 77mm mobile anti-aircraft gun that they have in that particular scenario against a British dug-in machine gun. Really good fun. It's a really nice little scenario that I'd like to play it again at some point as well with people. But I filmed that, so that will be coming out as a battle report at some point in future. Secondly, down at the club, I wasn't going to go down to the club this week, but I decided almost at the last minute to go down. Dex was putting on a game of Victory Without Quarter for, I think, something like the 308th anniversary of some battle. I don't know what it is. Dex, tell me in the comments. I'm sure you will. But it's the first time. It's the first time, probably either in a long time or the first time ever, that I played an English Civil War game. So I know nothing about the period. I know nothing about the tactics. I know nothing about, you know, what kind of troops they were or anything like that. And it's obviously the first time I played Victory Without Quarter as well, which apparently is a free game that you can get online. You can download it and play. It's a card-driven system, which I really like anyway. I like card-driven systems, lots of friction in that kind of thing, and also there's some nice little touches in there as well. So for example, if your leader is activated, he can move, and then he can also activate a unit that's under his command, even if they've already activated in that turn, or if they've yet to activate. So it was really nice for that, and also it has a variable turn end as well, so it's a bit like IB Shotgun, a bit like Through the Mud and the Blood. You don't know if you're going to activate everything in the turn or not. Played against Dave. He gave a good defence. I was the Royalists attacking against his parliamentarians. He gave a very good defence in the hedges, but I think his centre was weakening by the time we called the game a draw. We got to a point where it was gone. I think it was about 9:30ish or something. So we said, right, we'll leave it to that. It's a draw. We were kind of just testing the rules out, but got really into them really quickly. They're pretty simple. You know, it's like 4s to hit kind of thing with a couple of minuses here and there. 7 is a 2d6 morale test, for example. Pretty simple stuff, but really enjoyed it. So massive thank you to you, Dex, for putting it on. Thanks for Dave for being a good opponent as well on the other side of the table. I'd happily play it again. It hasn't made me think about getting any of the epic pike and shot stuff, but I've certainly thought about you know, playing the game again at some point, I'm fairly sure. But yeah, so that's been my hobby week. As I say, quite busy. Quite a lot of stuff has been going on. Done bits and pieces here, left, right and centre. But I'll leave it at that, and I'll leave you with just to mention the Warlord affiliate link is still in the description down below. Use it if you're going to buy any Warlord game stuff. please, because it does give me a little bit of kickback, and that goes back into the channel, of course, to make hopefully better videos for you. Also, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that bell because you'll get notifications, and also, of course, check out Patreon and channel memberships. And I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.